Like his ancestors, the Oba's divine status requires that he should only publicly visit the outside world on special occasions, and I asked him how he spent his time in the palace.
Well, in the usual way, sometimes when I used to play billiards, I play billiards at night.
I hear you have a great reputation, Your Highness, for playing billiards.
Well, I used to play, but I have not played for quite a long time now.
Your Highness, you also play a great part in the religious life of your people, do you?
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
I noticed that you have a copy of the Holy Bible. Do you have the Quran too?
Muslim.
Yeah.
Yes, I have that.
So would you regard yourself as the head of both the Christian church and the Muslim church and the Hindu church, and also your own religion?
Yeah, the Oba is the religious head of all people of Benin.
Your Highness, many of us know about the bronzes that have come from your kingdom. They are very famous. Can you tell me why they are so important to the kingdom of Benin?
Well, because they were record of events. When British troops came here in 1897, they carried them away.
What kind of events, Your Highness, were represented in those plaques?
Any event of record,
Yeah.
such as you are here now. If it were in the old days, you would be recorded in the same way as we have recorded the Code of England about, I think, 56 or so.
That is the last one that Your Highness has commissioned.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, it is not possible to enter this chamber until you knock 3 times.
The most sacred shrines belong to the Oba himself, and I'm taken to see those by one of his sons.
So I'm going to knock at the door 3 times before I open it.
Prince Humphrey Akenzua is a graduate in anthropology from a Nigerian university. He's also a believer both in Christianity and the traditional practices of his people.
This is where we keep our shrine for the departed Oba or the late Obas. Now, this chamber is very important to us. It's always a secret chamber. Here we have a shrine, one for Adola, and this one here is for my grandfather, Eweka II.
Yes.
This is the traditional setting in the palace where you have the Oba at the middle, surrounded by his chiefs. Now, the model you have here is a bronze cast of my grandfather, Eweka II. Now, you see, we have 2 chiefs here, the front chief carrying what we call asa. In terms of warfare, these materials are usually used to guide the Oba from attack. Oba was one time a warrior.
And what are these?
These are thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts, yes. We collect them for our shrine because we believe that they are very, very powerful.
And do they come from the sky?
Yeah, they come from the sky.
They look like axes, don't they?
They do, but I think they have a natural shape. It is not carved.
These are not carved by human hand?
No, it's not carved by human hand.
Because we find such things elsewhere in the world made of stone, and they are there used for cutting, but here that is not so.
No, it's not so.
Yeah.
They are usually dug from the ground.
I see. What is this, Humphrey?
This is a bell, cast in bronze. Now, this bell and the rattlestick are used simultaneously during any ceremony or festival. This one is used to summon the spirit of the ancestors by ringing it. The other one is used to confirm prayers in the shrine by shaking it like this.
And can anybody have heads like that and tusks?
Yes, only the chiefs. The chiefs, yeah, only the chiefs.
As well as the Oba, chiefs?
As well as chiefs and the Oba as well.
I see. And when was this shrine set up?
This shrine was set up by my father.
Yes. When?
About 1933, when he came to the throne.
Yes.
Yes.
And were all the objects made at that time?
No. Some of the objects were made before that time. Because casting brass is a long process. It is not possible to make a brass cast within a short time.
I see. Then, are there bronzes being made now for the shrine of your father when he should die?
I would regard that question as I can't reveal it because it's a secret within the royal court.
I see.
I wouldn't say my father would die in any case. And I don't want to reveal the secret of the Benin people because
I quite understand.
It will annoy them.
Yes.
It's the beginning of the Nigerian New Year, the time when Igwe and the most important of all the ceremonials used to be held. Quite unexpectedly, the entire congregation of one of the city's Christian churches has come to pay their respects to the Oba in front of the palace.
For the peace given to this city and the whole Nigeria in particular.
Their clergyman comes from another part of Nigeria and doesn't speak Bini, so his message has to be translated.
May strengthen our Oba and endue him with more abundant life and peace.
Not here, there by there.
So that his reign may be well established in this city and throughout Nigeria. And we pray also on behalf of the chiefs that they may be in cooperation with our Baba and everything may be going on smoothly. So that everything may be done successfully for the glory of God. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Well, go.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah, yeah.
The plaques, about 1,000 of them, were found by the punitive expedition stacked in a storeroom. Apparently they had been taken down some 200 years before. Once they had covered the pillars of the palace, and together they give a detailed picture of the Benin court at the height of its glory and power. On the few occasions that the Oba left his palace, his sacred body had to be protected from the rays of the sun by the shields of his chiefs. His attendants, going before him, carry leather caskets containing kola nuts for the Oba to distribute as a gesture of patronage, just as he does today at the daily Ematon ceremony. One of the most technically accomplished of all the plaques, a masterpiece of bronze caster's art in high relief. It shows the Oba fulfilling his sacred duties by sacrificing a cow. The roof of the palace at that time was surmounted by a huge bronze bird. Below it, a great python, also of bronze, sprawls down over the wooden shingles. The pillars supporting the roof were covered with plaques, and the entrance to the palace was permanently guarded by warriors. One Oba was said to be able to raise an army of 100,000 men within 24 hours. Many plaques record their victories. This is a prisoner with a brutal sword wound across his chest. The scars on this man's face show him to be an Igbo from one of the tribes to the east of Benin with whom the Bini had many wars. When this plaque was made, the Portuguese had been in touch with the kingdom for something like a century, and they too appear on the plaques. They are shown with such accuracy that it's possible to date them from the details of their clothing. This man must have been in Benin in the early 16th century. He's armed with an elegant sword, but the Portuguese had more advanced and effective weapons than that. They brought cannons and muskets, the first guns that the Bini had seen, and they had crossbows. The Oba persuaded them to join his army, and with them on his side he became one of the most powerful rulers in West Africa, conquering an empire that stretched for 200 miles along the coast from the frontier of present-day Dahomey to the banks of the Niger River. The Portuguese were seeking ivory, pepper, and above all, slaves. The Oba supplied them, and in exchange obtained metal. One of the attendants waiting on this chief carries what was to become the standard currency on the coast, a European-made ingot of bronze, a manila. And metal from overseas is still eagerly sought after today. This is Igun Street in Benin City, where bronze figures are still being cast. Once they were made only for the Oba. Today, new versions of the old images are being made for sale to visitors, but also to townsfolk who take pride in having them in their houses. The craft is a hereditary one. The head of this workshop, the master bronze caster, is Osiosefe